What is up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wilde back again after Monday workout. And I got some day after thoughts after the Eagles get defeated by the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh yesterday. I did a live video after the game, and sometimes you tend to overreact, especially when you're watching the game and there's some alcohol involved. If you saw the live stream after the game, you know exactly what I mean. What's up, Maniac Mac? So my big thing yesterday was Jim Schwartz, and how this dude just needs to go. I've talked about it before. I've talked about, you go back to the Super Bowl. I don't know if a team gives another team 33 points in a Super Bowl and wins like Jim Schwartz did. All the blowout games, game against the Saints, the comebacks against us, like, the Titan game or the Panther game. I mean, the Viking game from a couple years ago. There's just been some bad defensive performances. Looking into it a little bit deeper, guys. There's a couple people to blame for the Eagles season this year for a loss like yesterday. And, number one, and I just got done listening to Doug Peterson's press conference. Hold on, Zuka Joe. How do you not tell Mike that you're Mike? So I only see Mike a little bit. Usually when I see Mike, it's like when I'm leaving the gym. I think I saw him for the first time in a couple months the other day leaving. But yeah, I definitely need to have a chat with him. We could have probably done a stream together. Birdman 951 on the road to 100 subscribers. Definitely good job. Everybody definitely subscribe to Birdman. But the two people I want to blame is Howie Roseman, number one, and obviously Jim Schwartz, number two. You have to blame Howie Roseman because in Doug's press conference today, I mean, it was a lot of window dressing, a lot of misdirection. You know, basically he wanted to say, look, guys, that we going back to that play, that last Claypool touchdown that pretty much sealed up the game. He pretty much wanted to say, look, the guys that we had on the field couldn't. The play was going to be successful against these guys. Howie Roseman has not given this team the right pieces. I mean, to completely dismiss the linebacking core like they did, guys, is ridiculous. And I've talked about this just about every week. Eagles real descendant broke us again. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff, Birdman, they couldn't help. There was a graphic yesterday. The Eagles had 19 starters on offense this year so far, most in the NFL. So Nate Gerry, yeah, he shouldn't have been in that position that last play. But basically what the Steelers did was it was 5 wide. The Eagles had Darius Slay with a head injury. He was not allowed to go back in the game. So you have but like literally you've got Craig James out there. You got Nickel Roby-Coleman, who has been bad. You had to have, do you want a linebacker on a wide receiver? Absolutely not. It was almost something that kind of had to happen. I think Rodney McLeod is kind of to blame as well. Ben Roethlisberger saw who Claypool was going to be on and changed the play right away, and they got the touchdown. And come to find out, Claypool said he never even ran that play before. He didn't even know what he was doing. But it's not just that play. It's the whole game. Like Chase Claypool, again, if you go back into some of my older videos, a wide receiver that I thought the Eagles would be great Eagle. The Eagles could have got late. He looked like a superstar yesterday. Jalen Mills looked really bad. Probably the worst that I've seen him ever. Darius Slay, the only guy that could cover, and he was kind of getting beat up a little bit in there too. Bad defensive scheme all around. The way to beat this team is attacking those linebackers and whoever the second corner is going to be. And you're going to see it next week. You saw it this week. If the Niners had a capable quarterback, you probably would have saw it Sunday night too. And then the penalties. They had 9 penalties, 8 on defense. You can't win like that. Not against a good team. Not against a good team. So, Jim Schwartz, I'm just tired of it. I think the Eagles need to find a way to part ways with him after this season. To be honest with you, if it were me, I'd do it now. I mean, enough's enough. I got to wonder what Jeffrey Lurie is thinking watching this team deteriorate the way it is. And I'm gonna get to that, man. I'm gonna get to that. Zach Ertz. Let's talk about the offense, guys. Zach Ertz has disappeared. He has completely checked out of this season. Lakers NBA championship. So what's going on, man? Great win for the Lakers yesterday, by the way. He's disappeared. Zach Ertz has disappeared. Everybody that watches me knows I've went to bat for Zach. I thought he should get a new contract. He has disappeared from this team this year. I mean, yesterday, one target for a catch and like 6 yards. It's insane. Now, you can say that they're scheming him, that they're maybe doubling him. The same thing happened last year, and he had a good year. Ertz is like Ben Simmons' jump shot, non-existent, right? Yeah, he's become a shell of himself, and it's a shame because if you can get Zach Ertz being Zach Ertz, then this offense isn't exactly that bad. I don't know if everybody needs to get traded from the Eagles. There are some guys that I would. Birdman, thanks again for the super chat, man. Thank you, Jim Schwartz. I'm sorry, but it's a wrap in Philly. You got that right. Thanks again for the super chat, guys. Everyone, subscribe to Birdman's channel. Supporting Eagle fans is what we do here. As I'm an Eagle fan, just like everybody else. Do I start Alshon when he comes back? Yeah, sure. But I'm not sitting Travis Fulgham. I'm not sitting him for Deshaun. I'm not sitting him for Alshon. John Hightower's a rookie, 5th-round pick. He dropped a sure touchdown and missed on a deep pass that he should have caught earlier in the game. He is a rookie. He has been doing some decent things for a 5th-round pick. But he would definitely be my backup. I would definitely start one of the vets over him. And let's be honest, these guys, if Deshaun comes back, how many snaps before he goes back out again? Let's see. Maniac Matt, I would pick up Dan Quinn for right now and see what he can do. Yeah, I don't know what Dan Quinn's if he's ready to jump back into another coaching job. I don't know if a team has ever fired a defensive coordinator and then hired one off the street. I mean, you kind of have to. I don't know how his scheme is compared to Schwartz, but there's a lot of moving parts that you have to get into there. I mean, you're pretty much asking the players to find another playbook. Now, he could come on as defensive assistant. Trexler says Deshaun can go. I agree. Birdman says, do you think Fulgham is legit? I'll be honest with you. So the catch against the 49ers that he had, I was impressed how he stayed in bounds. It was Carson kind of put it in the right spot. He had a couple catches yesterday. I was like, okay, when you catch against the Steelers defense, when you have over 150 yards, that's not a flash in the pan type thing, especially when the Eagles don't have any other wide receivers. So once Fulgham starts lighting up a little bit, they put a little bit more pressure on him, a little more attention. He was still catching the ball. I mean, he was snatching the ball out of the air. The one play where I was like, yo, this dude is legit is he caught a ball and he bounced off the defender bounced off of him. Yeah, I don't know when the last time we had a receiver like that. But yeah, the defender just bounced right off the guy. I've been doing a little bit more research today with the little bit of time that I've had. His college years, Old Dominion, of course, not a great college. But there was a game where he had like 188 yards. Like the dude and if you look at what they said, and I'm doing a whole nother video on this, guys, from Bar 4133, of what people said. What's up, Zach? About what people said his draft, coming out of the draft, what they said about him, and you'd be surprised. One of the things that Alshon in the slot, I don't like that because he's slow. What I really like about Fulgham is he's got that look. He's got that that it factor I talk about all the time. He's got that fearless look, man. So this can be expected throughout the year. I think so. Now, obviously, teams are going to look at him now and go, okay, this is a guy we need to pay attention to, so it might not be 150 every game. Zach says my YouTube alerts don't exist. That's YouTube. I've heard that a couple different people that go live. So I'll definitely look into that. Yeah, Travis Fulgham, man, just, again, if you can get Deshaun back. And another thing that I was kind of disappointed with yesterday, Quez Watkins, he was on the field for a couple plays. They never tried to go deep to him. Maybe the timing between him and Carson just isn't there yet. But he is definitely the fastest wide receiver that the Eagles have on the team. So, Yeah, guys, just any other thoughts anybody has from yesterday's game? I think special teams is also lacking for the Eagles as far as that kick return game. It's non-existent, man. These guys are fair catching it or getting, maybe it's killing us. As far as positives go, it's weird because I don't know if you guys feel like this too. I'm not so like down and out after yesterday, a day after, as I was with some of these other losses, like the Washington loss, like the tie with Cincinnati. Um, Crazy, we probably still take division out that Dak is out. Yeah, man. Prayers to Dak Prescott, dude. Oh, you talk about bad luck. And just to talk about him, I'm not going to be the guy that makes fun of a guy getting hurt, even though Cowboy fans um, just consistently pick at us about Carson and send the memes of Carson on crutches or whatever. I'm not going to be the guy to make fun of Dak for that. He's definitely been one of the best players on their team. If you look at his stats this year, I know a lot of them are empty because they've been behind. But he's definitely the heart of that team. I don't believe in Andy Dalton. I just don't. I can't. I don't know any Dallas fan that can look you in the face and say that Andy Dalton's going to bring them anywhere. And he's another guy that kind of furrowed in the middle too. Not saying he won't win them games, but he's definitely not the answer. But you talk about bad luck for Dak. I mean, he rejected all those contract offers. So, that injury that he has, man, that could be like a career threatening injury. It looked nasty. He already had surgery. So no pun intended, but a bad break for Dak Prescott. And yeah, this division is up for grabs. See, we're scoring more points on offense. Yeah, yesterday was Eclipse. Yesterday was probably the best. Zach, thanks for the super chat, brother. Nothing is worse than Cowboys except maybe the best of Bazooka Joe on VHS. Damn, guys, Google that. But yeah, definitely. Thanks for the super chat. As again, all the super chat money going back into the channel, guys. At my lives, I'd like to have a 4K camera, which I'm going to invest in. Fulgham Hightower Ward, forget Alshon and DJ at this point. Again, I will take Alshon and Deshaun. Maybe not as full-time stars, but they can definitely contribute to this team, I think. If Deshaun can stay on the field, he is still a legitimate deep threat. If he can stay on the field, which is obviously something that he hasn't been able to do for a couple years. But if I can get another 2 games out of him, because as we talked about, this division is kind of up for grabs. I did watch the New York Giants for the first time yesterday. I'll tell you this, Daniel Jones does not stand a chance. I think my first 2 matches were VHS. You might be right. They definitely were on VHS. I probably have them. But Daniel, that offensive line of the Giants is so bad. Like, I've never felt bad for a player before like I did Daniel Jones yesterday. I mean, this kid has to get the ball out of his hands. You think our offensive line has been bad at times this year? This dude, he was under consistent pressure, had to get the ball out of his hands within, I mean, it was like a couple seconds, man. The Giants have not done anything to make their offensive line any better. The fact that the Cowboys struggled against them is insane to me. So yeah, if we can just get this thing back, if we can look, their quarterback situation for the Eagles is, I hate to tell you guys, it's bad right now. We're in dire straits with this. Darius Slay is the only guy. Donna Williams, I don't know if this team can hold up. No, if they're LBs, I agree. What do you want for the Eagles the rest of the season? Obviously, want your team to win, but it would be worth it to get number 1 pick next year. They're not going to get the number 1 pick because the Giants are worse. The Jets are worse. Washington is worse. There are a lot of teams that are bad. Obviously, the Eagles aren't going to win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, again, who knows? But when we play Giants, we're going to end up killing Daniel Jones, maybe. You know what I want for the Eagles this year? I want to be in every game. And I don't want them to look like scrubs. You know what? I want to take the East. I want to get in the playoffs. I want Carson to get through a playoff game. That's what I want. But yeah, once Slay goes, I mean, Mills looked horrible. Maddox is out. Nicole Roby-Coleman has looked bad. Craig James looks, I don't know, he looks bigger than what a cornerback should look like. He doesn't look fluid out there. It's just bad. They need to go out and they need to find somebody else. I mean, I don't know who's out there on the free agent market. They're not going to trade for anybody, but they need to do something. They need to snatch somebody else up. I think of a couple years ago when they got Cravon LeBlanc off the street, or that wasn't off the street. I think they got him from the Bears. He was like on their practice squad. They got to find somebody like that can help them because this secondary is really bad. Um, Speaking of the airport, bro, they can't stay healthy. We're making Carson build chemistry with different parts every week. Yeah, and you know what the thing with Carson is, and I'll tell you this. I said this last week when Travis Fulgham caught that pass. That gave Carson. Carson is one of these quarterbacks. Like, I don't know how much John Hightower is going to catch the rest of the year because I don't know if Carson is going to go to him after he dropped that touchdown. Yeah, Logan Ryan would have been good knowing what we know now. Fulgham showed that that Wentz could have some trust in him, and Wentz went to him all the time this game. It's not like Fulgham was wide open. 90% of those passes, he was not wide open. It was tight coverage, but Carson went to him because he had confidence that Fulgham was going to catch the ball, and probably he had no choice, let's be honest, with what he had available. But, I look at the defense, and it's weird. You go a couple weeks ago, and I was really worried about the offense. I am worried about the defense more. The defensive line, it was weird, Roethlisberger, in the beginning of the game, and then something happened, and it was like no pressure, which I don't understand. I'm going to have to look at the game again. And with them getting pressure, it gave Ben time. Claypool, again, a rookie, made this secondary look silly. Guys can't tackle. J-Jaw finally makes a play and then tried to celebrate. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I almost forgot. Getting back to line. Yes. So that was that was Carson and J-Jaw, I think. Carson should have threw the ball a little bit more to the sideline so J-Jaw could have gotten out of bounds. For a couple of plays before that where Hightower didn't get out of bounds, that cost him some seconds. But yeah, when he popped up and started doing that celebrating, I wanted to take my TV off the wall and throw it into orbit because I couldn't. That was probably the most frustrating thing. Now, obviously, he still wouldn't have gotten back. I think we can all agree as a collective, it's nice to see the beard coming back. I'm not, but yeah, it's weird because you know what? I didn't have a beard for my whole life, and once I had to shave it, I felt I don't know. It was like it's probably how Nate Gerry feels every day with a beard on. And speaking of the airport, I would love to drive Nate Gerry to the airport like today. This guy, how he is still on this football team, how he is starting is insane. I mean, I can't. Can you guys? Can you guys think of a worse linebacker than Nate Gerry? I mean, I'd rather. I don't know what Carlos Emmons is doing right now. I mean, I'm sure he's retired somewhere, living a good life. I would take him. I would try to get him out of retirement. I would take him over Nate Gerry. I would take. I mean, there's so many different guys, ex-Eagles, that I would take over Nate Gerry. The fact that they had Jordan Hicks and let him walk is crazy. But there's got to be somebody out there. There's got to be somebody out there that you can pay to instead of Nate Gerry. I mean, this is insane. This linebacking core is, and the Eagles have never had good ones since Trotter left. And if Trotter is available, why not bring him back? I mean, what is he? Probably 48, 49 years old, maybe. Maybe I'm making him older than he is, but I'd still bring him back. He'd still be better than Nate Gerry. That is enough. Yep, I should do a video like that. Every linebacker I take over the White Snake, Nate Gerry. And that's, the thumbnail of this is snake bitten because we were once again. I mean, let's go to St. Louis. Let's go to the LA Rams game. Tyler Higbee, 3 touchdowns? There's a stat that I have on Nate Gerry about how horrible he is. I think opposing quarterbacks have like 154.96 passer rating when going up against Nate Gerry. He's let up like the most touchdowns out of any linebacker, which is 4. He's just bad. He's a bad linebacker. Fighting against you know what? At this point, like you said, Trexler, they got nothing to lose. Now the Ravens are probably, after seeing the Chiefs lose to the Raiders yesterday, I think, and even though that the Ravens got beat by the Chiefs, I think the Ravens might be the best team in football. They're rounded very well. The Bengals didn't stand to one chance against them. Lamar Jackson is going to come over into the link, and they're going to attack the linebackers. They're going to attack Jalen Mills. They're going to attack these linebackers. Like you said, man, The Eagles have nothing to lose. Our only saving grace right now is the fact that that offense is finally clicking. And again, I don't want to get too insanely positive because I've got a video coming up called Silver Linings Playbook. I give you the silver linings of the game. But I'm going to go ahead and give up one of them right now. Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata. I think we have our left tackle, man. I know it's only 2 games, but Bud Dupree is not a pushover. Bud Dupree is a beast, and he had half a sack yesterday. I mean, Mailata stood up really good, held his own, looked like he'd been doing this for years. And again, I'm not trying to jinx this dude at all, but when you watch Jason Peters get thrown around and beaten down like a little biatch, it's refreshing to see this guy Mailata come in, a rugby player, and have some success, guys. I mean, absolutely just looked really good. He's gonna have another tough matchup Sunday, but I'll take it all day long over what we did have. Now, Lane Johnson, Doug said in his press conference today, is getting a second opinion on the ankle. I don't think it's good. Yeah, you saw those rugby highlights. This guy is insane. Jordan Mailata reminds me of a guy that I'd like to probably drink with. You know what? I bet things get really interesting when Jordan Mailata gets drunk. You know, because he seems like he's too friendly for his size. If you look at pictures of him, or the one video I had him with the ukulele and singing and all that. But I bet you he gets seen when he starts drinking. He would probably pick me up and like throw me across the bar just to be funny. Yeah. Go to Zach the Ripper Comics if you want a review of all things WWE. He will be watching Hell in a Cell Sunday, and Hell in a Cell might actually be at the link if the Eagles do not try to somehow at least make this game close against the Ravens. I hate to watch us getting blown out. It's just the worst thing, and I'll sit through every play. And I almost felt like that. Another thing about yesterday, I had that feeling like, man, this is going to get out of hand. And they rallied back. The Eagles rallied back. And the defense just did not want to win. They did not want to win that game. And it falls on Jim Schwartz. I think Vince Papale can... Maniac Matt, yeah, you could probably... I bet you if Vince Papale walked on and had a memorable play, I would be willing to bet you'd be a better linebacker than Nate Gerry. I'd be... And I don't know what your size is. I don't know anything. But at this point, I'd take you over Nate Gerry. What a joke. I can just imagine what other offensive coordinators think when they look at Nate Gerry. They probably, oh my, the teams are probably just can't wait to go up against this guy. So, but guys, that's some day after thoughts. Easy for me to say on this game. A little bit more coherent today than I was yesterday. Hiring Jordan to throw you across the bar. Yes. Maybe I'm sure. During the all season, we could probably get him to come down and do that. Wild for linebacker. I'm 5'6", and I'd be better than Nate Gerry. Yep. I don't know what his size is. But we're having too much fun here, guys. We should not be having this much fun after an Eagles loss. Oh shit! Angry Allen is going to go off this week. He was almost in a bad mood this week because he couldn't be angry that much, because the Eagles won Sunday night. But yeah, I'm sure he has a lot of things to say about Jim Schwartz, Nate Gerry, and the rest. 6'1", 215. Oh yeah, dude, you're in there. Man. Let's pick him up and take him to NovaCare Center right now. Jeez, I can imagine what the drive to the airport with Nate Gerry would be like. He definitely wouldn't be defensive about anything. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the super chats once again. Definitely, man, that's like very humbling, I gotta say. And the referees, oh boy, I can't leave without talking about them. I can't. Casey, thank you for bringing that up. Before I go, one of the worst officiated games. John Hightower, I don't know if he sucks. He's a rookie. That was horrible. I'll give it to him being a rookie, but yeah, that ball in the end zone has to be caught. The referees, the two pass interference plays on Darius Slay were so garbage and bad. They missed holding calls on Fletcher Cox. They missed a face mask that Claypool put on Alex Singleton. I mean, 20 seconds came off the clock after the second pass interference play that shouldn't have, which would have given the Eagles more time at the end of the half. A lot of people didn't realize that. They were bad. They were bad, 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 all around bad. And again, they basically handed the Steelers 14 points, in my opinion. But playing the us against the ref game, it doesn't change the fact that we lost the game. But yes, they were absolutely brutal, horrible yesterday. And the referees on the field probably be better linebackers than Nate Gerry. So, good point, Zach. Yeah, there was a little hold there on that 74-yard run, and I almost felt like Whiteside had a block in the back, but I'll take it. All right, fellas, I got to get out of here. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned for some videos tonight, more about this game against the Steelers. Love you all. Thanks for super chats. Go Birds. Stay healthy. You guys know.